Hey guys, it's Bellamy here from Midnight Suns, and today I have a very interesting topic that I would like to discuss with you guys. And if you've read the title of this video, it's a question I have. Does Quickplay MMR actually secretly affect your competitive MMR? And I know that sounds crazy, and I'm pretty sure Blizzard has stated before, like officially, that Quickplay MMR is completely different from your competitive MMR. Or that's what I was led to believe, and that's what I've been thinking for like the past few years. And the reason I'm asking this question, even though the obvious answer would be no, Quickplay MMR does not affect competitive MMR, but the reason I'm asking this is because something very interesting has happened to me. So just a kind of side story, a few weeks ago I was at my friend's place because we were working on a film shoot, and so I was at his place for a few days, and during the downtime I would just play Overwatch on his computer on his account. And he's actually a plat competitive player. Rest assured, I did not play comp on his account because I don't believe in smurfing, so don't worry. Before you go into the comments and start flaming me, I didn't smurf on his account in comp, don't worry. Yeah, so I didn't play ranked on his account at all, but I played quick play on his account for those few days, like maybe an hour a day during our downtime, like in between like lunch and dinner and that kind of thing. And sure enough, after a few days, I could tell that the games were getting harder and harder. Like, when I first started, because he's a plat player, his Quickplay MMR is also definitely plat. So when I was playing in Quickplay with his account in the beginning, I could tell it was super easy, like you can just carry all your games. And bear in mind, I'm playing support. Like, support is really easy to carry games, even in the lower ranks right now. Especially in the lower ranks, actually. Yeah, so the games gradually got harder, and then eventually I could tell that he was in Masters or GM lobbies, and by the time I stopped playing his account at his place, that was where I left it. So after I stopped playing his account, he of course continued playing after we were done with the film shoot. So he was playing on his account, and then he was complaining to me that I raised his Quickplay MMR so high that he was being matched constantly with players that were way above his skill level. And of course, I apologized, and I thought, okay, that's the end of the story, you know. And he told me he was gonna go play comp because he was sick and tired of getting trashed in Quickplay. Yeah, so his Quickplay MMR was just too high for his level, and so he thought that if he played in comp, he would still be matched against plat enemies and be matched with plat teammates, and it would be at his skill level, so he would be able to have fun. Then something very weird happened. He told me that he started getting matched with Masters and GM players in his comp lobbies as well. So, you know, the first few times it happened, it might have just been bad luck, you know? Like, maybe there just weren't enough plat players and the game put him in games that were way above his skill level and he got completely demolished. But then he told me it kept happening, like almost every game he could tell that he was playing with players that were way above his skill level, and some of them even have like the GM role titles. And of course his teammates were complaining that he bought his account or something, you know, that he doesn't belong there, like why is this plat player even in the GM lobby? And he went on multiple losing streaks. I mean, he did win like maybe like he still wins like 1 out of every 5 games, but yeah, it's really bad. But here's where the weird thing happens. Even though he's losing most of his games, he's actually still climbing the ranks. So for like every 5 wins he gets, he'll probably get like 10-15 losses at least, and yet he's still climbing. It's really weird. And I can understand the mathematical reason why that is happening, because when he loses his games, because his enemies are so much better than him, he only loses a tiny bit of MMR. But when he wins, he just gains a huge lot of MMR, and that's why he climbs so quickly even though he's losing most of his games. But what this doesn't explain is why is he constantly being put in these games. Like, he told me this barely ever happened before I started playing his account in Quickplay. So it's as though me playing his account in Quickplay raised his Quickplay MMR so high that now his competitive MMR seems to be affected by it. Like, the matchmaker seems to think that he should be matched with the players that he's being matched with in his Quickplay. Like, his Quickplay MMR, let's say it's Masters or GM right now, so his competitive games, the matchmaker keep putting him against Masters and GM players. Which is kind of screwed up because I don't see how his Quickplay MMR should affect his competitive matchmaking. And perhaps there's some other reason for this. You know, if any of you are like well versed in how the competitive system actually works in Overwatch 2, please go down into the comments and let me know, because this is really confusing to me. And even though I have a lot of experience with competitive, I have no idea how to explain how this is happening. Like, there's no logical explanation. The only theory I have that kind of explains this is that his Quickplay MMR now affects his competitive MMR. And I suspect this might have something to do with the anti-smurf measures that Blizzard introduced a few seasons ago. So for those of you who don't know, if you are a GM player or like top 500 player, and let's say I made a new Overwatch account right now, I would be able to go unranked to GM much more quickly than I would have been like at the start of Overwatch 2. Because they changed the system such that now if you make a new account, your Quickplay MMR will affect your initial placing for your competitive MMR. So that way you wouldn't be like completely destroying all your enemies from bronze to, let's say, GM. And they did this so that hopefully it would reduce the amount of smurfing that was destroying competitive games. But what I suspect they did, whether it's a bug or a glitch, is that now these anti-smurf measures are extending to existing accounts as well. My friend's account, he's been playing since Overwatch 1. I played with him for many years. Yeah, I really suspect that now, because of these new anti-smurf measures, whether by accident or not, his account is being treated as a smurf account, and they actually think that he's a much better player than he is because of what I did to his Quickplay MMR. And that would explain why now he's constantly being put in games that are way above his skill level constantly, and he's climbing the ranks even though he's losing most of his games, which is really screwed up. But yeah, have any of you experienced this as well? I would love to hear from you guys, because this is just my anecdotal evidence. Like, I have never heard anyone else tell me something like this happened. So maybe there's some other explanation, and I would love to hear from you guys really. Like, if you honestly have any explanation for why this is happening to my friend's account, please go down to the comments below and let us know. Like, my friend would definitely love to know as well. And once again, before people say I'm crazy, I just want to clarify that this is just a theory that I have, and I really hope there's some other more logical explanation that Quickplay MMR does not affect competitive MMR, because if it does, that's kind of screwed up. Because right now, if your competitive MMR is actually affecting your Quickplay MMR, you can't just go into Quickplay and mess around. You cannot try out heroes that you have never tried out before. Like, if you've never played Life Weaver, you go into Quickplay and play Life Weaver and lose most of your matches, and you actually screw up your competitive MMR if your Quickplay MMR actually does affect it. So yeah, I really hope there's some other explanation, because if that is true, that's really screwed up. Like, how do you even have fun anymore? I guess play an arcade. So yeah, if you guys know anything, please go down to the comments below and educate me, please. If this is like some bug or glitch, I really hope Blizzard fixes it soon. But anyway, in a few days, we'll be having a whole competitive system rework that will be announced at BlizzCon. So for all you know, this is just a bug or glitch that won't be a problem in a few days anyway. But yeah, do go down to the comments below and let me know your experience, guys. Have you guys really experienced anything like this? Anyway, thanks again for watching, and as always, stay gold, everybody. Bye, guys.